Hey guys, it's Tanya. Yeah, so today we are jumping back on the Adam train, Adam Sandler, and getting back to one of his not very well known movies, I think, from
Mm-hmm.
2011, although he is with Jennifer Aniston. So it's Just Go With It, which was on Netflix for me and also I believe was is available on Prime to like rent or whatever too.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was on Netflix. I ended up renting it on Prime because I had no idea, so I could have watched it for free.
Well, I don't know if see, I saw it there and I started watching when I just came back from being in I was just in Portugal and we had a VPN set to Portugal and I think there's other titles available there, so I think it was available there, but I didn't see it here. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if maybe it was only available. So it may not have been available in the US or unless you have a VPN set
Right.
to somewhere outside of the
Okay.
US. But um it it's so I watched half of it there in Portugal and then I also and then I rented it too because I was like I can't find it here. So
Yeah.
unless it said it was leaving soon, so I don't know, maybe it left or I don't know, but it was
Yeah.
very soon. But it whatever it is, it's a remake. I didn't realize this of Cactus Flower from 1969, whatever movie that is.
Yeah.
And
I've never seen that.
it's I have not either, and I did not watch it to compare it. So I don't
Yeah.
know if it's like the same or if Adam just kind of added his own
Yeah.
flair there because he was a producer, I think, right? I think he was a
Mm-hmm.
producer. But what did you think of the movie overall?
There was parts I really liked. I liked the kids. I did like Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. I did not like the cousin like at all. I wish he wasn't in the movie. I think it kind of ruined most of it for me. Any scene that he was in, and I don't know. I just thought he was really annoying. I don't know. I think I just don't like. It seems like most of the characters. What is his name? Nick Swardson or something like that. He always annoys me. I don't know. I think it's just very maybe I don't get that stupid juvenile that juvenile humor like that. I don't know. It's just really dumb.
Yeah, yeah, it was a little too over the top, and I mean that is kind of Adam Sandler, but I think we like Adam Sandler's brand of doing that, like his older style.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling it from the cousin character either.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, I did think it was Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston do have some sort of nice chemistry, I think together.
Yeah.
There is something there. It's friendly. I don't sense it's really like,
Right.
anything more than that, but they have some good kind of comedic playoff with each other. And yeah,
Mhm.
and the kids are cute. Yeah, and it was kind of a very twisted, strange plot, but I think that's probably, I don't know, maybe from the 60s that was just kind of from that and they were working with that or just because they just wanted to make it kind of quirky, I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it had its good points, but I was not it was not definitely not I think at our top favorite for Adam movies, right? I would say
No, I
we can
mean,
both.
I liked. I think the last. I don't even know how long the movie was. I'd say like the last half of it. I liked. I liked it. I liked most of the time they were in Hawaii, and I don't know. I liked all of the stuff with Dr. Daniel and Catherine. Like just I liked most of their communication, their friendship, their even when they're working together, like the quirkiness in the office. I liked that, but I don't know, it just seemed genuine. It seemed like okay, this is actual like real conversations. It's not like slapstick. Like you could actually figure out, what like why they might have a good friendship or a good relationship.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
it was funny because at the end when they were I know we're jumping way ahead here, but I mean, at the end when assumingly you've all seen it if you're watching this, but
Yeah,
at the end when they were
2011.
talking about yeah, I think we're safe there. When they were talking about go ahead and say what it is her friend Devlin or whatever played by Nicole Kidman,
Yeah.
random, but she's like, say what you like about each other. And it seemed almost like they
Yeah.
were not only as characters, like kind of being like, oh yeah, I can see this really about you. Like I really appreciate these things. But I think there
Yeah.
was a little bit maybe of like them as actors kind of being like, I kind of really like that. I wonder if that was sort of
Yeah.
improvised. I got that feeling. I don't know. Just as like a friendly
Yeah, it could
way.
be because it did seem very genuine, like I really like this about you. And, and I don't know if that was the first time they worked together or it might have been because it was definitely years before the murder mystery. But you can tell that, I don't know, they had really good working chemistry together back then. And it's nice. I thought it was nice. I liked that part where they were looking at each other and they're just genuinely telling each other how they felt. And you could tell that it was deeper than just a boss and a coworker or an employee.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, they definitely had, the girlfriend Palmer was saying, "Oh, well, you seem to know so much about him," and she was kind of realizing, "Yeah, I guess I do. I know like that he needs his cotton candy and peanut butter jelly beans, kind of separated into Ziploc bags and
Right.
all these very specific details about him," which I was kind of thinking just in my own, outside of the movie, I was just thinking like, seriously, like, come on, of course she's going to. She supposedly has been married to him and you've like been on 2 dates with this guy. Like, of course she
Yeah.
knows a lot more
Well,
about
and
him.
plus she's worked with him for, I don't know, it sounds like they've worked together for like 20 years or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Yeah. It's definitely they developed a good connection maybe without realizing it. And I think that's the whole point of the movie. Just go with it. It's just kind of like, like, hey, this actually is where it ended up leading us, and it was right in front of
yeah.
us. Yeah, so I definitely thought there were some themes of, I guess just from like a psychological perspective of just kind of maybe not being aware of the people that are around you, or maybe not realizing how connected you
Yeah.
are to people in general, just even at work or in friendships.
Yeah.
Maybe not seeing your self-worth in what you could offer in a relationship. I know Jennifer Aniston's character was
Mhm.
kind of seemed to kind of count herself out of relationships, or she was maybe selling herself short with that kind of the gray soul patch guy or whatever, and like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
not didn't really seem to date too much, and was like, oh, I have 2 kids, like almost like it wasn't a selling point, and like she was kind of like, oh, nobody's gonna want that kind of thing in her mind, and Daniel Adam Sandler was probably still traumatized by his first wife, just basically openly cheating on him and
Right.
also making fun of his sister, uh, and just kind of mocking him overall. But yeah, I do think there were definitely 2 people who were very much more similar than, they realized, more connected than they realized, and they kinda had to go through all these things to
Yes.
figure it out, and it was kind of I felt like it could have been shorter. I felt like it could have been a little more direct with some of these
Yeah.
things. I don't feel like it had to
Yeah.
be as roundabout. I could have done without the scene with the sheep with the cousin. Um,
Yeah.
and I just didn't really like that. I thought it was
Well, I,
odd how
well,
yeah,
I
go
think it
ahead.
was a weird way for the cousin and Palmer to have to bond. Because
Mhm.
it was like, okay, so they're having this dinner because, he's so gross and she's, like they're just trying to figure out, 'cause supposedly they're all going to be family and, and then this sheep thing happens and then they come back all drunk and happy and bonded. So I think that's the roundabout way of like, how can we make this ridiculous thing so that the two of them have this connection and not have it like not have them having like a relationship or anything, but just like this. Oh, we had this really wacky shared experience of, he had to have this, give Heimlich maneuver to the sheep and da 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 da, so and now, we're so bonded and we're talking about marriage and I let it slip that, that, you know, you bought an engagement ring, and so, or that you're looking at engagement rings, and it's just I think that's probably why it was there. It's just, yeah, it wasn't really needed, like the whole, again, I'd be really fine without the cousin or Palmer in the movie at all, but
Yeah, I guess they were kind of just props, essentially, like prop characters to kind of, kind of be there, and for the main characters to be able to get over, to kind of like, their
right,
obstacles, to kind of be like, "Oh, I can see you," that was kind of in the way, but
right.
I just didn't really enjoy the way the characters were, I don't know, written in. I don't know, it didn't really add much to it, and usually those kinds of characters really have to add to it.
Yeah,
But then again, I realize this is a
yeah,
remake, and it's just a silly film, so
yeah. It's weird. I guess he does a couple remakes, because didn't you say that Mr. Deeds was a remake too? And
yep.
so, it's interesting.
Yeah, I guess he likes to
Older
redo some
movies.
classics, yeah. Um, it's strange when I was thinking about the whole plot and the way it was going and the characters, I was like, I could actually see some of these characters in, like, a '60s movie. Like, I could see this kinda being a little older, and I think that's maybe
Hmm.
why it sometimes didn't seem to fit, because maybe he was trying to capture the essence of that or something in
Yeah.
there, or maybe it just didn't really work. I don't know, but it felt a
Hmm.
little off. I felt bad for the kids because they were essentially being used, and even though I know they, like, negotiated prices or whatever,
Yeah.
they're still kids, and they're having to pretend that this person is their dad, who they know, and they know pretty
Right.
well, but,
Right.
the little boy was like, "Oh," he starts to break down and cry, like, "My dad doesn't spend time with me," and he's like, "What was
Yeah.
that? Like, you're ruining my chances with this girl," and it's like, "Okay, this poor
Right.
kid is trying to say something." So I thought that was a little,
Hmm.
traumatizing, but I realized it was kinda going for, like, that comedic effect, but I personally just don't find things like that funny. I don't know,
Right.
I'm just kinda like, "Ugh, that didn't really land well." But then he kinda redeems himself, like, he teaches them how to swim, he does actually, seem to really care about them
Hmm.
at a certain point when he starts to realize, like, maybe Palmer is not his someone he
Right.
loves, which is not surprising to me because, again, I don't feel like they spent that much time together, and I don't really
No.
understand. I think that's just he just maybe saw it
Yeah.
as like, "Oh, this is a person that's sort of slightly different than a person I would try to trick and
Yeah.
just have a one night stand
Yeah.
with."
Well, and
So,
I think that's what it was too, because he had the ring in the pocket when they met. And so she saw him as not married and was attracted to him. So he felt like she was completely different, not realizing that, oh, it's still someone that he hooked up with, but maybe there's not really, where everyone else was just not a connection. And he was able to see that, I think, because he saw, like, oh, wait a minute, something's different. I'm not wearing my ring. So there must be a true connection.
mhm.
So it probably was like some, not realizing that, wait, if I did have the ring, it would have been just like every other person. She's just,
Yeah, that's true, yeah, and so maybe that was kind of him feeling like, "Oh, okay, if that's kinda
right,
my only criteria," but he forgot to kind of look at if they actually have a
right,
connection, and I don't know. Palmer seemed to be a character that was, like, very annoyingly naive, like, that she just kinda bought everything that was presented to her, and, but then kinda sorta
right,
questioned it, but not really, and I don't know. I just
right.
didn't really, that just seems so far gone after a while, like, it's so unrealistic, it's weird.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that it really was not, I think it kinda dealt with themes of, like, self-image and how we handle
Hmm.
past traumas and relationships, how we see ourselves after that, the kids and how they feel with their dad kind of, like, forgetting to pick them up and not spending time with
Yeah.
them, and
Doing other things. And I think that also made Daniel too realize, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't just be posing, like the time when they're all taking pictures at the golf course. And he's like, why can't we just have actual fun instead of taking pictures that we're having fun? And then I think that's when he realized, like, maybe we should do something. Let's go swimming. Let's do something different. So it's not just fake fun. We're actually having experiences, because I think that's when part of him started to realize like they're not just props, they are humans and they've had trauma from being abandoned from their father. So I can't keep re-triggering them or re-traumatizing them.
Yeah. Yeah, which is I mean, yeah, for sure. I was kind of like, they were telling him so many times, like our dad, and he was like, yeah, yeah. He was just so focused
Yeah.
on himself, which
Yeah.
is a common theme, I think, with his characters. Like they can be kind of selfish, like in Big Daddy, and then they really
Yeah.
redeem themselves and they actually have a pretty big heart. Like he tends to kind of have a lot of characters that he plays that have those common patterns. So
Mhm.
he probably identifies with that, maybe.
Right.
Maybe that would be my guess.
Yeah.
But I do like how he did have some people that he does cast a lot, like Kevin Nealon was
Yeah.
uh,
The guy with
the guy who
too
got in
much,
a lot of,
yeah,
yeah,
surgery,
plastic
couldn't.
surgery. Yeah, yeah, and his laugh was so goofy. And then his wife was the first fiance who traumatized him and cheated on him and
Yeah.
the opening scene. Um Which I think is funny that he kind of put he put her there. That's I don't know. I just think that kind of speaks to
Yeah.
their comedy together.
Yeah, they're good
Um,
together.
yeah, and so I think it was odd that they all went on a vacation together, even though I know his quote unquote son or Michael, which is Catherine's son, really tricked the Palmer into being like, oh well, he promised he would take me to Hawaii, and then he felt like he had to do it. And then, his she felt like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna be part of the family, so yeah, let's talk it over with your wife or your soon to be ex-wife." And like then she was just being friendly, and
Yeah.
then with the guy she supposedly cheated with. That was a weird
Yeah.
thing.
Well, and I
But
thought it was weird too,
I
because
guess that's all part of that
going forward a
plot.
little bit, yeah, I was going to say it's kind of weird too, because they weren't divorced and then they're planning to get married, or she thought they were going to get married like at the very end. It's, yeah, it was very dumb. Like, yeah, Palmer
Yeah.
only went
Yeah,
on a
she's
few
like, "Let's get
dates and
married
she's already
tomorrow."
making herself feel like you've been on 3 dates, Palmer.
Part of the
That
family.
those
Yeah, yeah, she was kinda painted, I think, very naive. I think she was probably only supposed to be, like, in her mid-20s or something. She was supposed to be younger and
right.
but yeah,
Yeah, she
I
was
I
all
I
into
do think she
NSYNC.
was kinda like yeah, listening to she's like, "That's my jam."
Bye, bye, bye.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, it really is. It's just odd. Yeah, and how she's like, "Oh, well, you should be able to tell us anything to the kids," and, like, already kinda playing like a stepmom figure, and yeah, they're not quite divorced.
Yeah.
It was just the whole, like, kinda old, like, 1960s movies of it all. I think that's kinda really what it was, and they were just like, "Oh, let's just
Mhm.
play it up," sorta. That's what I think. Again, I haven't
Yeah.
seen the original, but I think that's maybe what it was.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was not as many people, I think, as he normally would have, like, recurring characters. It was just Kevin Nealon and his wife. I think those are pretty
Well,
and
no,
Jennifer Aniston, I guess.
at the very beginning, it was like the whole crew. I don't know if you remember, like that at the restaurant or whatever, when he still had the big nose,
Uh-huh.
when he at the bar, when he was just sitting there, then he ended up going with the pretty girl, and everyone's like, "Oh, yeah, the like they're like it was like the whole crew. There's a bunch of the
Oh, so
guys,
they
the
were
guy
in
with
there. Okay. Yeah.
the weird eye, a few other people that were in Mr. Deeds, and so a lot of those people were there at the very
Okay,
beginning.
so they were just very much I didn't that was a part where the movie kinda had stopped for me, and I had to that was, like, a point where it stopped, and I had to keep reloading it, so I kinda there were
Okay.
certain parts I kinda missed, but that I'm glad, so he did include it in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so his signature elements were there, that's good.
Yeah.
I do I like how he did he was kind of, he had some of the voices that he had, like, he kinda made that strange voice, that Adam Sandler voice,
Right.
and he made some jokes, some funny sarcastic jokes, and definitely, had some of the essence of Adam. There
Mhm.
I keep thinking of the part where after the hula contest and the coconut, and they like have to get the coconut up, and they beat Nicole Kidman and Dave
Yeah.
Matthews. Um and they, kind of are sort of looking like they're going to like kiss and all this stuff, and they're kind of going back and forth, and they're having just really kind of like, I don't know, playful banter, but it's a little awkward, like kind of like they're both kind of shy, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of sensed a little bit of I don't know, like improv there too. I kind of sensed like they were kind of just going back and like saying like silly things. I think that kind of just made the other one laugh, and
Mhm.
I again, I think that just shows their chemistry too.
Yeah.
I thought that was another pretty cool part of that.
Yeah, and I did like how what's her name? Catherine was able to kind of work through her trauma of Devlin because that had been
Mm.
like something since college, that she hated this woman so much or and because she was such a snob, but they're able to finally be, like when they're at the bar at the very end, be like, I hate my husband. Like it just this, and they're just talking, and then finally saying, like, I'm divorced, and that, just be honest. Because it always seemed like there was a competition, and they never were truly honest. And so that was, just even like talking about her, Catherine, before is like, oh, Devlin, this is my nemesis, and trying to see her, and automatically feeling like she had to one up her or be with her, be at the same point as same level as her in a sense. But then it was like,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute, we're both going through stuff that we've been hiding, and even how Devlin's like, oh, my husband didn't invent the iPod or whatever. It's like,
He like sued the Dodgers from like a fly ball that hit him or something.
yeah,
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, and he's gay.
yeah,
She just like knew
yeah,
that so casually.
yeah. She's like, look at
Yeah.
him, yeah,
He's like over there trying to like flirt with sailors, and
yeah,
yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah. And the fact that it's Dave Matthews. Like I just was so like, what a random casting like of Nicole Kidman and Dave Matthews from Dave Matthews Band. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, Dave Matthews Band is that's a band, that they have a very particular, I don't even know honestly what genre they would
it's
be,
like
but
jam, like it's like jam, whatever, kind of like how like Fish and stuff, just kind of like, all right, just kind of, I don't
yeah.
know. I never really liked Dave Matthews, but there's like one song that I'm like, that's tolerable. But yeah, I've never been a big Dave Matthews fan.
I did like some of their music in like high school, but I kind of I don't I'm not yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Never was like huge. But
Yeah,
I just thought it was really random. I wonder why I wonder if Adam is friends with him or something. I don't know. Strange.
maybe.
I just
Yeah,
thought it was random.
yeah,
But I yeah, and I really like that part too. I agree with you with where they kind of healed their friendship, and they kind of were able to sort of take off like their masks. Like it seemed like, we knew
yeah,
that Catherine was very much kind of trying to impress her, and was like, "Oh, I can't like," she even named like Devlin like poop after like taking a Devlin, like because of
yeah,
just how much she despised her, but also was kind of very insecure by her. And then to see Devlin
yeah,
be like, like my husband's gay, we're getting a divorce, like to see her kind of be like take off the mask too was really, yeah, that was really healing.
yeah,
Would be nice to have that with some people, like to be able to kind of feel like, oh, that would be cool. I don't know if that just happens in the movies, but I don't know. Who knows, right?
yeah, yeah.
But I thought that
To be able
was
to have that
pretty
chance
cool.
of somebody that tortured you or you to have that closure too, because it's not like they're going to become best friends. It's just like, okay, we both
Yeah.
said our truth and just kind of, like, okay, we're okay now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I sensed when they were hugging and they were kind of like, "Oh, we should have been doing this from the beginning." I sense that they actually are kind of friends in real life too, because they've worked in something, haven't they,
I
together?
don't
I
know.
think they
I
have.
don't
Nicole
remember.
Kidman and Jennifer Aniston. I may be mixing up some of their shows because I know Jennifer Aniston was in The Morning Show and Nicole Kidman was in like All the Lies We Tell or something, and I think I always
Okay.
mix some of those. I think there was another show that maybe they were in. I don't know. You guys can let us know. There was something.
I don't
I
know.
feel like they've worked together again, but maybe I could definitely imagine that.
I don't know. I just watched the recently just watched The Perfect Couple with Nicole Kidman. That was pretty good. That was on Netflix.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
That was very psychologically.
That could be something we talk about sometime.
Yeah, that might be something to add to the list for sure because that stayed with me. I was like,
I
"Oof,
will add it right now.
okay. All right, yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it."
Yeah, but yeah, I can't think of anything that they have been in together though. Jennifer Aniston and Nicole Kidman.
I definitely could have imagined it. It could have been like the preview for one of their shows was next to another one of their shows. I often do that and
Yeah.
we'll mix it up. So that's the way my brain works. But yeah, so I mean it was a very kind of I think convoluted plot, but it definitely had its moments of charm with
Right.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Aniston, Adam Sandler, and the kids. The kids are cute.
Yeah, definitely.
I liked the daughter Maggie, how she was like into acting and she like overacted and she just seemed so
Yeah.
confident and sure of
Good
herself. I
day,
like that.
governor. Yeah.
She was really into her like her British accent. Yeah, she's a cutie, and
Funny.
Michael was just kind of like just I don't know, kind of serious, but also kind of I don't know, kind of his own little quirky character too. I like that.
Yeah, almost I was thinking like yeah, a little solemn too, kind of like, not
Yeah,
not
yeah. That's a good way to describe him. Yeah, he kind of had like a wise beyond his years kind of thing, but then he was very much a little kid. An interesting
yeah.
combo.
It's like, yes, well, I really
He
want
was
to
a
swim with
cutie.
the dolphins
Yeah.
and I like to when they're like, "Oh, well, you don't know how to swim. Why would you pick swim with the dolphins?" And he's like, "Well, I didn't really think that all the way through."
Yeah, like that's his little kid part. Like yeah, that was cute. Yeah, it was a cute movie. It was probably not our favorite, but I think the Jennifer Aniston and the Adam Sandler connection kept me going in it, and the kids.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah,
it was good for that.
same here. Like I really liked almost every scene that the two of them were together and I loved the kids. The little girl was really funny too.
Yeah, she's actually I looked her up because I was like, "Oh, I wonder what she's doing now." And I don't she's done a few things since, but she is like gorgeous. Like just I mean, not like she
Yeah.
I could see how she is, but like I think she's been in some other things. I don't know if she's like kind of concentrating on other things or I missed that she's been in anything recently, but maybe she's kind of focusing on some other things, but she has
Yeah.
gone on to do some other things
Yeah.
too. The little boy I couldn't get much information on, but yeah, no, it's really cool. I love the choices he makes in actors. I think he's very intentional
Mhm.
about it and he is really good and by that I mean Adam obviously because I think he was a director or producer or something. I don't honestly not sure I really know the difference. But he was something that was important in the movie and yeah, and it was just a nice film to watch. I think we probably wouldn't have watched otherwise or really, heard
Yeah.
of. So it was
I
it
mean,
was
I feel like
nice.
I
I would
have
say to
seen it
give it a
before.
watch.
Yeah, I think I've seen it before. I just don't remember. Like it's one of those like, just like when we were
Yeah,
watching
maybe.
Murder Mystery, I was like, I know I've seen this, but I didn't remember how it ended. So
Mhm.
sometimes, but I do remember like the Hawaii part of the Hawaii theme. I just don't remember everything else. And I could have blocked it out because I hated the cousin so much. Like it could have.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I really think that could have gone in a different direction. His character, like maybe they needed a distraction, but it just could have gone a different way. I think. And Palmer was
Yeah.
okay. I think she was a little naive, but maybe that just kind of worked. But yeah, his character especially was irksome. Ugh, yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
think it
like
was
it.
just, yeah, it was like, all right, this is like beyond annoying.
Yeah, it was too over the
Just
top.
like, yeah, it's like, all right, we understand what you're trying to do, but maybe not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, with the I just did not like the sheep scene at all. It made me
Yeah.
kind of sick. I understand they kind of needed it, but I just that really just was like, ugh, I don't want to see this. Even though I know it was a
Yeah.
fake sheep, obviously, but it's just
Right.
no, no, thank you. I don't find like animals, even if it's like, obviously not real, but I don't find like that funny. I don't know, like to like be
No.
I don't know. I just don't like that. But yeah, so anything else that we can think of that we didn't talk about that maybe was
I don't know. I mean, I think yeah, I think like a lot of the main things were like, like being a single mother, like how you navigate that, like your
mm,
relationship with your coworkers, your identities, like cuz that's like all everyone's identity from like, Daniel and being like, first he's rejected from his wife, he hears like the horrible things that she said, the soon to be wife and then his identity, because he's just mourning not getting married and then he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, this is going to work for me." And then so his identity now is like this playboy, single person to, like figuring out like maybe that's not who I want to be. And Catherine, her identity as like, I'm like this assistant and, single mother, best friend probably to him. And, you know, then, just they're all just trying to figure out who they are. Well, most of them.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's a good points to look at. And I mean, it really I think was just a very interesting way to put it all together. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Adam was there, Jennifer Aniston was there, the kids were there. That's a bonus. So,
Hmm.
yeah. So if you get a chance, I don't think it's on Netflix anymore, so you might have to rent it on Prime or maybe
Yeah.
you have another streaming service that has it. It's worth it. I think it was only like $3 or something to rent.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was like $2.99 or $3 or something. Yeah. It was very cheap.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, but give it a go. But I
Yeah.
do want to ask our challenge question.
Yeah. Okay.
Michael, the little boy, his like dream was to go swim with the dolphins. I know he didn't really plan out because he couldn't really swim, but he still had the
Right.
dream and he was able to
And he
do
got to
it
do it.
and he was
Yep. He got to do
successful.
it.
Yeah, it was actually he was like standing up with them and everything. That was really
Yeah.
great. What would, if you could choose just one thing that would be,
Hmm.
like that was on Michael's bucket list, what would be on your bucket list that if you could do and fulfill, what would be one thing you would want to do?
Well, I think we've talked about this before. I think it's a dumb one, but I think I'd really like to see like puffins in like the wild. Like, since we're going like the animal theme, like since he did dolphins, I think the first thing that came to me would be like, I'd like to, I've never really seen puffins, I think are just like the cutest birds. And either that or I don't know, I've always wanted to go to like a elephant sanctuary or something like that. I think that would be
Hmm.
kind of cool. Like there's one in Tennessee that's supposed to be like humongous and but you have to be a volunteer and stuff, so it's like a pain in the neck to try to do it. But I think
That is
one of
cool.
those like because I'm just like thinking animals now because of the dolphin thing. I couldn't,
I don't think that's
I think.
stupid at all. I think that's really cool. That's a really cool thing. Yeah. I wouldn't have even thought of that, but that's like a really cool, yeah, really cool thing that probably not a lot
Hmm.
of people get to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I actually like that you did that animal themed. I'm trying to think of something animal themed because I don't have an answer. I don't know. But oof, I don't know. I asked the question and I didn't have an answer. I think that I don't know. I really don't know right now. I am just coming off of I had a 3-week trip away where I was traveling on a motorcycle throughout Europe and I just came back yesterday, so I am not with it too much right now. I mean, I'm not really ever, but more so now. And so
Hmm.
I am trying to my brain is not really working too well. I'm also still I
Yeah.
think jet lagged. But
So Let's just do it like animal. What would be an animal experience you'd want?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, that's a really good way to put that. And so I'm really trying to think of something because I don't know what I would do. Oh man, the puffins is really cute.
You can come
I
with
don't
me.
know if
We could
there's
do puffins.
I would like to see the puffins, but I do want to come up with an original answer because I'm just like, oh, I just
Okay.
stole yours. That is a really that's cute. And the elephant sanctuary. I think that's a really good idea. Man, you had some good ones. I'm sorry. I really should have thought this through. I would like to maybe trying to think of some animal. I don't know. Maybe go see no, see, I'm thinking of some like I'm like, ooh, sharks, tigers, lions, and I'm like, I'm scared to death of all of those, and I don't think I would
Yeah,
go near them.
whenever you see the people like in the shark, like the cage, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they did that. Like how, it's just so crazy.
I would not, I just wouldn't do it. I would not do that. And
Yeah.
same with like a crocodile, like those crocodile cages
Yeah.
that they have sometimes. No
Ooh,
way,
I've
wouldn't
never
do
seen
it.
those. That would be scary. Or like
I
how
would
people go
not.
in boats like where hippos are. No, thank you.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. No, I'm scared to death of those. I just heard I read some scary story about that and I was like, they're out. Yeah, there's really, I mean, I guess I've kind of always, I don't know, like pandas and koala bears, I guess would be pretty
Yeah,
nice to see, even though
that
I
would be
know
really
that
nice.
pandas are not like the nicest, but I know that's not like a very original answer, but
Yeah.
I think that that would be cute, to kind of be able to see them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my dad went to a koala, it was a koala sanctuary in, I think it was in New Zealand when he was stationed in Tonga for the Peace Corps. And he has the cutest picture of him like holding a koala. It just makes you want to like just
Oh,
he said they were so soft, but it just
oh,
seems like it'd be really neat.
that is cute. Yeah, I know my nieces and I think my sister that my nieces both of them studied abroad in Australia and they were able to like visit some koala bears. I think that's pretty cool. And I think my sister did too when she visited. So I just think that would be cool. And I actually my mom when I was younger, this is really odd, but she used to call me a koala bear because I guess apparently I
Oh,
looked, I don't
really?
know, for some reason. Yeah, some random thing. So maybe that's why I was thinking of it.
Oh,
It was
that's
just
neat.
a yeah, I don't really know why. Maybe I gave good hugs and I was soft. I don't know. But yeah, so that is my challenge question that I did not think out very well, but Erin had some great answers. Next time I will think it out before I kind of just think of them on the
Okay.
fly. So I
Yeah,
really should have thought of that.
that's
But
okay. I mean, I
I
think it
do
worked
think
out.
the puffins, yeah,
Yeah.
we got there.
They
We
always
got there.
puffins have always been my favorite. I don't know. There's just something they're so cute.
They
I
really
don't know.
are. Yeah, they are. They're very different too, right? Like in terms of like
Yeah.
penguins, like are they super
Yeah.
different like
Well, and they could
behaviorally
be
and
like
stuff
on
like that?
rocks and stuff like that, like high up. And I don't know. I mean, they like cold, like penguins and stuff, but I don't know. They just seem really cute.
Cool. No, yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I really like that.
Yeah.
I need to learn some more about some animals and be like, "Ooh, I want to go see them because
Yeah.
I'm behind the times in that." But yeah, so that is the story of us. So I also did want to, just kind of close out this episode. And I know, Erin, you had brought it before. If you don't want to say this, we can just, but you had talked about how you were going to have to be radioactive
Radio.
and
Oh, yeah. I never really gave any explanation, did I? Because that's what it's like, okay, going to be radioactive. So I don't know if I even shared that I ended up getting diagnosed with thyroid cancer a few months ago, back in April or something. Then I had a thyroidectomy in June. Part of the treatment is I had to take a radioactive iodine. It's like a radiation pill that they actually had to give it to me in like a lead container. The a physicist and the doctor gave it to me, and it was interesting. After I swallowed the pill, they put a Geiger counter on my neck and then on my stomach. So like as soon as I swallowed it, I was already radioactive. So after that, I was contained in my room, like not able to see the kids or my husband or the animals for 4 days straight. So it was like having to feed me and stuff like in a quick way. And then after that, I was able to be out of my room for like 6 feet apart, but at first just like an hour at a time and then longer. So it was 7 days of strange aloneness. So I did a lot of watching TV, reading, different art. So it was, yeah, it was definitely different. It was a different experience than when I had chemo, because chemo I could have everyone can come and hang out with me and see me and stuff after while I was recovering. But I was glad too, because I was really worried that I was going to have like really strange like side effects. But thankfully, just the first day I woke up with like a super huge neck. And I guess that's because it attaches to your thyroid. So, but after that, like I just like massaged it and put like ice packs and stuff, and it was fine that later that day or the next day. But yeah, it's been I was super anxious about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like having more anxiety than I think I've ever had like leading up to it. But
It's a scary
I,
thing.
yeah, because I was like, how big is the pill gonna be? What's gonna happen? Is all my hair gonna fall out? So like I was really worried about like how is it going to be like not seeing everybody. But we managed with FaceTime, and then the kids would come to my window in the bedroom and I'd open the window and like they'd stand like 6 feet apart from there, because the doctor said it's kind of like a x-ray, so I'm just still omitting like like 6 feet apart from wherever I was. So we still managed. It was just yeah, it was different. It definitely teaches you. I can be alone this time because I couldn't even leave my room for the first 4 days. So at least after that, I can go outside. Then I'm allowed to pet the animals after day 4, but I just couldn't let them kiss me or lick me for a few days, because I guess animals are a little bit different, they said, so they can be pet. But yeah, so it's yeah, it was just a little. It was whew, glad that part's over.
Difficult. That
Yeah.
was very, very difficult for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
did you want to share the news or?
Not yet. Not yet till I hear from
Yep.
like the yeah, I'll wait for that part. But
Okay.
I think it's because I haven't got to the official. That was just me reading the portal.
Okay.
Not no yeah, but it's good.
Well, we are of course, all wanting that to come out, on the positive side, and
Yeah.
glad that that part is over. But yeah, just
Yeah.
wanted to kind of say that because that's been rough, and
Yeah.
yeah, you've been through a lot. So
Well, thanks. Yeah,
yeah,
it's been yeah. Glad that's over. And
yeah.
yeah. Oh, and also I was on this crazy diet beforehand for like 2 weeks of like, so I couldn't have iodine salt, so we had to make our own bread. Todd had to make all the food. It was just
Mm,
yeah, it was yeah, it was a lot of work. It was different. So
yeah, sounds
you don't
like it.
realize
Oof.
how much iodine salt is in everything.
I
Not
guess
just salt, because you
so.
can have like
Yeah.
non-iodine salt, but you can't have iodine salt beforehand in it, so that the radioactive iodine attaches to the thyroid stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. All this stuff. I never knew anything about my thyroid before all this started. So it's
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know that. I don't think, people realize that that is a thing, that there
yeah,
can be a radioactive pill. So that's,
yeah,
to kind of detect for that. So yeah,
yeah,
you have gone radioactive. You can officially say that. I mean,
yeah,
and came out on the other side. So yeah,
yeah,
that's something. But yeah, we are wishing that is, you know,
yeah,
positive
yeah. And I
news,
think it is
obviously.
like, from what I looked at, it looked like everything was fine. I just don't know officially, but I don't know. From what I read, it looked like it was positive. So it looks like it's all cancer free. So that makes me happy. So
Good. Good. We hope that's what it is.
yeah.
Um, and I'm speaking for everyone because obviously they think that too. you know.
Our thousands of listeners.
Yes, yes, and, but yeah, so glad to hear that. Just wanted to kinda, give you a chance because that's been, a lot of stuff
Yeah.
going on, so, if that's something, that is, um, okay, you can always update us if you would like to
Yeah.
or not,
Yeah, definitely.
whatever's
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Well, great. Well, we're so glad that you are doing okay and past that. And yeah, we are going to have some Halloween October
Yeah.
themed things
Yeah.
coming up. I think QB Halloween is in a couple weeks, right? Or
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it could
And
be
then like
you're gonna be like, oh my god, that's so dumb. And then little Nikki, and
Mikey.
then we're gonna do Outsiders, Grown Ups 2, Billy Madison, and I just penciled in Perfect Couple, so we'll have to do that too.
Yes. Okay, I will add that one in, but that's great. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. If you have anything that you want us to know or add in about Just Go With It or anything else, any future show ideas, anything we talked about, any well wishes, of course, we always love that. And yeah, just let us know. Any questions, anything. We love to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
We are on all major types of social media, just all the things. The Wicked Psychotherapists do some form of that. At
Yeah.
Wicked Psychotherapists, we are there. And YouTube as well, if you want to see my
To see what
messy
we look like.
background. Yeah.
Well, it looks very well, it looks very tropical. It looks perfect for this movie. It looks like Hawaii.
Oh, it does. Oh my gosh, I didn't see. I just, it cures, yesterday's lazy, today's crazy. Yeah, it's I really have been meaning to shift it over to fall, but maybe I'll try and do that later today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does fit. That's true. Yeah. So let's do our outro. Don't
Okay.
forget, stay wicked.
And keep your mind well. All right, everyone. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye guys.
Stop.